Hello all. This is a demonstration and installation video of the consistency replacer tool. There was a previous version of the consistency replacer, which was basically replacing the broken consists that are there in your consist folder. Now we have moved one step ahead and brought in the static consistency replacer tool as well, which will basically replace the consists in the activities, static consists that are present inside the activities, which are not being able to, we can't really go and replace them through tsre. So this tool will basically replace them as per your train set that you have. And I'll demonstrate how it will work and what are the changes in the older one. There were some issues or some things which we came across as and when people started using it. I got feedbacks, so I've improved on that. And there is an updated version which is been released today. So also this particular consistency replacer is a paid one, so I'll provide a link in the description which will allow you to buy it. There will be a link where you can go visit the page and buy the tool. And I'll get started with the demonstration of the consistency replacer. Along with that, it will be kind of an installation process as well. So getting started, once you buy the tool from the link given below, uh, you can contact me in personal. I will provide you the tool. And once you have the tool and you have downloaded the tool, it will come up as a zip file. What you have to do is you have to extract it using any of the tools that are present with you. I'll use the default Windows offered extraction tool. Once the tool is extracted, it will be shown here. As you see, as I had mentioned in the start of the video, we have introduced the static consistency replacer. So this is the static consistency replacer. I'll come to that later. But now, once this extraction is completed, we have to, like we had done in the previous version, similarly what we have to do is we have to go in the utilities folder. There will be a config.yaml. Open it with notepad or any of the editing tool that you have. I will open with notepad since many people will be having notepad. It's by default present. So once you open it in notepad, ignore these things because these are already been incorporated in the tool, so you don't need to worry about what this is about. For us, the three main components are these three, wherein we have one is the default engine type, the other is the default freight type, and the previous existing MSTS folder. Obviously, the tool will require a path to understand where your MSTS folder is present in. So to get that MSTS folder, what you have to do is you have to go in the installation file where your MSTS is installed. I'll go into Microsoft Games Train Simulator. And in the previous version, I had told that we need to get the uh, path inside. We have to get the path till the trains folder, but in this case we don't require the path till the trains folder. Why? Because the static consistency replacer will be looking into the routes that we have, and it will replace for all the routes. I'll show you that. But routes and trains folder is the one which is important to us. So once you come inside here, just to get the path, how you get it, just click on this bar here. This will get selected, and copy this. Once you copy it, go to your config file and paste it here. For me it should come up same. Yeah, once you paste it here, just add these forward slashes. There should be two so that it can be read in the right way. So once this is done, your MSTS folder is it's set up. Unless and until you uninstall and move it to another folder, this need not be changed. Okay. And then we have the default engine type and the default freight type. This is a new introduction variables here. Now this default engine type is basically an option given to the users wherein they can put in their choice of default engine which will be replaced in case if the consistency replacer is not able to find a match for the broken consist. So for example, if there is a WAP1 which is you don't have WAC12 or WAP1 in your particular train set, what it will do is it will replace it with WDG or the one which you mention here. So for example, I have mentioned here WDG. So whichever WDG 3A, 4, whichever that is present in your train set, it will take and replace that particular engine with this one. So the consist replacer, if it doesn't find out, it will check the default engine type. If it finds, it will replace it with the whatever it has found in your train set, it will replace it with that. But if it doesn't find, it will replace it with this particular default one. Similarly, in case of freights as well, I have got feedback stating that there is ONGC, there is NALCO, and many other freight wagons which are present, and the name I mean, which is there, because of which the consist replacer is not able to find the right and how match in the train set. So if it is not there, what it will do is it will replace the freight wagon with a default one. I have kept it as BCNA here. You can change it to Boxen or any of the default freight which you desire to have, BTP and anyone. So similarly for the WDG, also here I'll put WDG4, let's say, and any one default engine you can keep here, and based on that, if it doesn't find, it will replace it with them. So this is about the config file here. Once these things are ready, you can just close this. This is just a one time thing, unless and until you think that you want to change the default path and all those things. If you want to change, you can obviously go and change it. Once this is done, the next thing that you have to do is you have to go back here and just simply run the tool. Yeah, you have to just basically simply run the tool. But I'll just show you the difference that is there between the older tool and the newer tool. What all things the older one was not able to replace and what the new one will replace. So I'll just run the older version which I have with me. I'll run it and it will replace a lot of the consists, but some of them will be left which might be replaced by the newer one. I'll demonstrate that. But before that, let's assume a scenario wherein we have downloaded an activity. I'll just show you how the overall flow of how the things will work. Let's say you downloaded the activity. Here I've downloaded this Paschim Express activity for MIR. Once this activity is downloaded, what you do is you go and copy this consist, go to your trains folder. I mean, it is best to delete the older consist, that the older activity which you are playing, and then put the new consist as per the activity which you are currently going to play. It's a good practice to have, so that I mean the clashes that will happen or the activity is not working, all those issues will be kind of solved if you follow this particular process. So once you put the consist here, the next thing that you generally do is you copy this activity paths, services and traffic. You copy this, you put it inside the routes folder. So you go to the routes folder, Mega Indian Railways. I will just delete this. Again, this is a good practice to have. Delete these folders, okay, and paste this one. Just be careful that you are deleting the right folder. You shouldn't be deleting tiles or textures folder. So just be careful that you are deleting the right folder. Once you paste this, your activity is installed. Okay, that's it. Activity is installed. You can just see that there is this activity and all the other folders will have that required data. Once the activity is installed, what you can do next is just go and run this tool once, so that all the broken cuts that are there for that activity will be kind of replaced with the one that you have in the train set. So once you go inside this, I'll first run the older one, and then I'll move on to the newer one, in so that you can see the difference, that what all has been happening for the older one. I mean, what used to not happen for the older one is happening for the newer one. So I'll just right click on this. I will run as administrator. Yes, and this has ran and it has replaced a lot of consoles. Okay, so once this is done, just closing the application. Once this application is closed, I'll go into the failed consoles. You see there are a lot of failed consoles, I guess. Yeah, so see these many failed consoles have come up here. Okay, now what I'll do is this older tool basically wasn't able to replace this wags, this vams, then many of these coaches and wagons, it wasn't able to kind of replace. So most of this will be replaced by the newer tool, which I will show you in some time. So this is what was happening in the older one. I'll just run the newer one now. This is the newer one. As you can see, we have the static here. Just to show you once, I have everything as per the newer one. Okay, let's just open this in notepad. See, this is the newer one. I've set it up like this. And once you run, again the same thing, right click, run as administrator. Once you run, we'll see what all we can get. Okay, see, most of it replaced, some of it didn't replace. So you see here a lot of those have been replaced. The engines are almost gone, there are no engines that are left to be replaced, but there are some things here which can be replaced further. I mean, there's a thing that we can do which can replace all of these things. So what is that thing? That is also a newly introduced feature in this particular update. So what you do is, now let's pick this Science Express. What we can do is to replace, I mean it, the tool, why it couldn't replace it, because it is not able to judge whether the Sans Express is a LHP type or a ICF type. So what we have to do is we have to tell the tool, I mean we have to tell the tool that it is an ICF or an LHB one. How will you tell it? You'll just copy the Sans from here, remove this, go into utilities, open ICF or LHB or freight. You see these three new files. So I want to replace that Sans one with ICF coaches. I open this ICF one and I put the Sans word here and save it. This is a one-time activity. After this, whenever it encounters a word Sans and it doesn't indicate whether it's an ICF or an LHB coach, it will go and replace it with the ICF ones. So I'll just show it to you again. Once I put that word, I'll save it. I'll then come here, run as administrator, and once I run it, see here the Science Express has been replaced by some ICF coaches. Okay, so now it shouldn't come up in the failed consist, and you see the Science one is also gone. So similarly, we can do it for the freight and the LSB one also. So I'll just show for the LSB one. Let's say I want to replace this Janasatabdi coaches with an LSB one. I'll copy this, I'll go into the utilities folder, I'll add it to the LHP part, and if you want you can come here, run the tool. Okay, if you put that word, you come here, you run the tool, run as administrator, you run the tool, it ran, it replaced it. Okay, it replaced it, see it's gone, there are no Janasatabdi coaches, so it replaced it. Probably it might happen some other act is using an ICF one. So what you do is you go here and you remove it from here. So if you remove it, it won't replace it. Okay, you remove it, save it, and then close it. So it won't replace that one, because again it will come up stating that I don't know whether it's an ICF. So probably at that time you can put it into ICF one and then replace it with ICF one. So that's the flexibility which you can use here. Again, I'll go into the field consist. There are two things that I want to show you. See here, the memo and demo coaches haven't been replaced. So memo and demo is not being replaced purposefully. Why? Because it might happen with the tool that the memo will be replaced by an ICF coach, and then that ICF coach will be kind of looking odd with that memo rake. Okay, so which is why memo and demo we have kept it for the users to edit from the TSRE, so that you can go and edit it. So memo and demo, any of the EMU kind of coaches won't be replaced. Also, obviously if it is there in your train set, it will replace it, but if it is not there, it won't replace it. And the other one is the Vande Bharat coaches. So Vande Bharat, if I can't really replace Vande Bharat, I mean the tool can't replace the Vande Bharat with an LHB or an ICF train. Okay, so if the consist says Vande Bharat, you have to either manually edit it or put a Vande Bharat rake there. Okay, now that's the first thing. The next thing is, if you see here, you might feel like it's mentioned ICF here, but it didn't replace. Why it didn't replace is because it couldn't find this VVN one anywhere in the particular train set. So what I'll do is I'll replace this VVN one with some freight one, so that the freight one also I can demonstrate. So I'll just copy this VVN one from here, I'll copy it, I'll go into the utilities, put it inside freight, save it, close this one, come here, right click on the consist replacer, run as administrator, yes, and it will run, and it should have replaced it. So now you see the VVN is also replaced. So similarly here you see there is WCR as well. So let's say I want to replace this WCR coaches with an ICF one. I'll put this WCR and this ICF uh, text, save it, close it. It's important to save it, okay, or else you'll say that I put it but it's not working. No, you have to save it. Once you save it, right click, run this tool, run as administrator, it will run and it should replace the WCR as well. So there is no WCR coaches now, only the parcel ones are left. I can add this parcel and in the freight and replace it. So basically I'll eliminate most of it just by not even visiting TSRE. I'm just clearing all my broken consists from here itself, just within a span of hardly 1 to 3 minutes. So once this is done, this is all about the updated consist replacer tool. The next thing is, which I had mentioned at the start of the video, that we have introduced a static consist replacer. So this static consist replacer will basically replace the static consists that are present inside the activity. So for that I have already installed the activity at the start of the video. If you might have seen, I've installed an activity here, Paschim Express. Now this contains some static consists. I'll just show it to you using TSRE. Hope it doesn't crash, but even if it crashes I can show it to you that it has static consists. I'll show it to you the other way. Let's see. Once this is open, I'll open the activity tab. I'll select Paschim Express here and I will go to some ZZR9 object. Let's say clicked on jump to, oh, okay, great, super. It opened up here and you see there is no static object which I see here. Okay, it mentions that there is an object here, ZZR9, but I can't see it. Why I can't see it is because I don't have it in my train set, so I won't be able to see it. But this is the reason why many of the activities crash, because the static consist that is being put up in the activity is not there and it comes as null for these all consists, and then the activity crashes when it reaches a point wherein this needs to be loaded. So once that is the reason why this activity will crash. So to replace this I can't go into TSRE and replace them and then put it. Already ZZR9 is fixed in my consist folder, but still it is not showing up here because it doesn't replace it from the activity file. So to replace that you have to run this tool. I'll just close this and I'll run this tool and let's come back again once we run the tool. Okay, so I'll go to the tool. I'll there are no other settings that are to be done here with respect to running this tool. Whatever settings that you will carry in the consist replacer, same settings will be applied to the static consist replacer. So if you want to change anything, you can go in the utilities, change it and then run it. Okay, so right now I don't want to change anything, so I'll just right click on the static consist replacer, run as administrator. Yes, see, it replaced a lot of things here. Now once it replaces it, I'll close this. It has already replaced. You see there are two new files here. It couldn't replace only this one, as I mentioned, demo memo I'm not allowing to replace. But yeah, so the next part is I'll just show you whether it has replaced. I'll just open this TSRE. Let's hope it loads. TSRE has a lot of issue with load, so I'll open the activity here. Once the activity is loading, I'll go to ZZR9. Okay, and let's try to jump to that location. Okay, it has come up here and you see here now we have that consist coming up. It wasn't there, but it is coming up here now, you see. So now that problem which was arising with respect to the null one won't come up because I have that object here now. Okay, so this is how the tool will work, and this is how the static consist as well as the consist replacer will work. Hope you liked the tool, and obviously if you like it, you can go and purchase it. It will be very helpful for you guys to kind of do things in a flash within matter of 5 minutes. You are you have replaced most of the broken consist. Obviously the player consist, you can go into TSRE and manually edit it. It will replace 2 AC with 2 AC coaches, 3 AC with 3 AC coaches. It won't be like it is replacing 2 AC with 3 AC or something. If such a scenario arises, you can ping me in the WhatsApp, and or else you can write down in the comment as well of this video, and I will have a look and get back to you on it. In case if such a thing happens, obviously we have scope for improvement and we can improve it. The next update for this tool will be kind of an UI which I am planning to make, which will be just like how TSRE is, something like that, and UI which will help you to do certain things, okay, with respect to the consist. So that's it for this video. Hope you like it, and if you like it, you can go check out the description and visit the page and buy the tool. Okay, thank you so much guys.